Hi, this is Don Allphin at donallphin.com and Don Allphin on Fishing. Just wanted to make an interesting video today. I'm just starting to my day, which normally in the summertime here at Flaming Gorge is to try to jig up a few kokanee. But today I want to show you a new concept, a new thing for me. It's obviously been out for quite a little while, but people have asked me what this is. If I've got people in my boat that don't really understand how to jig kokanee, and I really want them to catch fish, I've come up with a contraption called the LongLIner. I didn't invent it. I get it online, and for about 16 bucks plus a few weights and things like that, I can actually have a downrigger that is not a downrigger, just a little 5-inch piece of green plastic. And I'm going to show you today how to do that after I do a little jigging for kokanee. So I hope you enjoy this, and I hope it helps you catch more fish. Thanks for watching. Well, there's the first hookup. Could be a lake trout. Not really acting too much. Yep, there's a baby lake trout. That was the first one that decided to bite. We'll get that little baby out of the lake. Be better for the rest of the fish. There are hundreds of thousands of that size fish here, which is why the Fish and Game's telling us to try to keep 12 of them a day to try to cut down on those numbers. So that's what I'll be doing. Folks, is the LongLIner. You can see right here just a small little contraption. It's got a little weight hanger in the front where I've got a couple of 3/4 ounce weights on. This has a little cam arm right here that locks down. When it locks, it holds onto the line just like that. And then when the fish hits, it free slides down the line so that you don't have to worry about it. When you're actually trolling, it's staying way up the line, but then as soon as the fish hits, then it drops away. Well, there's a hit. Got the fish. I don't think my liner broke, so I think I'm going to have to snap it from the middle, but we'll see. I've only been going for about 15 minutes, so that's a good sign. Still hopefully feel that fish. Yep, still got the fish. Yeah, it broke just fine, perfect. Just exactly what we wanted. Kind of a small fish, but it's a good one. There we go. Nice job. Worked out perfect. That's what the LongLIner does. It makes it so you don't necessarily need a downrigger. That's the first koke of the morning. About 15 minutes of trolling. Nice 15, 16 incher. Now we'll get this rigged again So it's pretty doggone simple. All I'm doing is putting a couple of kernels of corn, which we have right here in a nice little box. Put a kernel on the first hook. I'm just throwing a spinner here. On the second hook. And then I'm about ready to deploy the LongLIner. So all I do is flip the bail of the bait, or of the spin cast, then let that go out. I'm letting it go out about 50 feet behind the boat. Keep turning around because I've got another line out. So once I get that out roughly 50 feet, then I just snap this into place. There we go. And then I once again flip the bail, then lower that back down. So it's going to be, this is my upper line, so it's going only about 20 feet down. It's got about 3/4 of an ounce of weight on it. So I let that go down just a little bit. And there I'm fishing. Slip it back into my little holder that I've manufactured. Actually, it's just the handle for the passenger seat to in case we were going into rough water, and that's it. Now I just barely got the one in, and here's another one on. Got another fish. Seems like it's still on. I was putting that other line out, so yeah, it's still on. But my LongLIner didn't break, so all I do is pull like that on the line. If it didn't happen to break that time, yep, I've got a good fish on. You can see it. Coming in. Well, so that's 15, actually about 18 minutes. Uh-oh, no, it's still there. Good little fish. See, that's the other thing that's really nice about the LongLIner is that you don't have to, you can use this just like jigging as far as pulling it into the boat without having to have the net. Now it's obvious that I'm by myself today, so do not have the luxury of having somebody to net my fish for me. So having the LongLIner working like this is great. There we go. So now we've been going about 20 minutes, and I have 2 of my 3 fish that I need for a limit. Didn't break. Got to readjust that one a little bit, I guess. But in the meantime, we should be able to get it in, hopefully. Hope that didn't knock it off. Ah, but that's a tiny one. That's one that we'll let go. Got that one in just fine, but it's not hurt. And that's just a small fish, and we'll just get that baby unhooked. We're able to do it in the summertime. You don't want to release kokanees, even though they might be small, that you catch, because they just don't last. They're very, very tender fish, kind of fragile. But in this case, it was only hooked with 1 hook. Got it out, and it just went right back down to the school, and no problems. But I've got 2 of my 3 fish, and as soon as I get my 3rd one, I'm going to head off and do some bass fishing. But this is an awfully good way to fish. I'm learning this method, and doing this basically because so many people that I have in my boat really haven't mastered the technique of jigging for kokanee. Now I actually think I have mastered that technique, and so it's frustrating for me to have people back in the on my boat that can't understand quite when to set the hook, how to feel a bite, how to jig your lure through the column. You know exactly how does that feel, and all of that takes a little bit of time. And sometimes when I have friends and family in my boat, we don't have time. They don't have time to really learn that process, but yet they do want to catch some kokanee. So I figured that I had to become a little bit more versatile and help everybody in my boat catch fish instead of just me. So I will teach people to jig for kokanee, and we'll take an hour or two every time I come out to help them try to master that technique. But reality is that if they can't master that technique, then we throw the LongLIners on, don't have to fool with the big old heavy downriggers, and they can start catching fish like you've seen this morning. So I think it's a great solution to one of my little dilemmas I have with making sure that everybody in my boat catches fish. And there we go. There we got another bite. So we'll deal with that, I guess, in real time. Don't know how big this fish is. Doesn't feel that big. Feels like a small one. Might not still be on, actually. So we'll reel in and see. But in the meantime, that's what we're doing, is we're just trying to make it easier for those on my boat to catch fish, and especially when people are really enjoying fishing for kokanee. Now that fish is on, but once again it's a real small one. And my rig worked like a champ, worked like a charm. So there it is. See, that is an absolute baby. And once again, it's just barely hooked. So off it goes. In fact, that wasn't even a coke, that was a rainbow. That was okay. So in real time, let's go ahead and put this out again. So I only used one of the kernels of corn. So I'm just going to open up the jar, get another kernel of corn set up. If you're noticing why I'm not worried about my trolling motor, I've got it on autopilot. So I know that it's only going to go 1.5 miles an hour. Now this time, because I've got one kernel that looks like it's hanging off, I'm going to put 2 on. And I'm going to make an adjustment here to my, just a little bit to my direction. Now, once again, all I do is clip my bail, hold on to LongLIner, let the line go back about 50 feet. Then I have to guess at that. Doesn't hurt to be a little bit long. It usually hurts more to be a little bit shorter than 50 feet. But when I feel like I've got 50 feet, all I'm going to do is just take this, snap that in. Now that's a sign that I've got it really well tuned, that it'll slip out real quick. Now I just release the bail again, let that weight go down. This is my upper line, so I'm only down about 20 feet. Well, got another hook up. Now it's been about 50 minutes since I started. And once again, I've got to adjust my LongLIner a little bit because it didn't release this time, but not a big deal because the fish is on and looks like a good one. There we go. And that's my limit after just less than an hour. Well, thanks for watching donallphin.com, Don Allphin on Fishing. This is a beautiful, beautiful coke that finishes out my limit. There it goes onto the seat. I'll have to do some adjusting there. But what I've been trying to show you today is the LongLIner. There's the third of my 3 fish. The LongLIner is right here, hooked into everything else I've got right now. But that's what it looks like right there. Has a little cam arm right there that you push down, and that releases when the fish is caught. These weights are there to get the bait down, and you put the number of weights you need to get it from anywhere from the surface down to 80 to 100 feet if you want. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and look in the description of the video for where you can find these LongLIners. It's anglerinnovations.com, and they're just a great addition to my tackle box. So thanks again for watching. Talk to you soon.